everyone. Welcome to the Football Amigos show. It's your boy Mide, of course. Welcome to our final game 38 prediction of the season. Amigos, thank you all so much for staying with us this long. I hope you stay and you continue with us. Of course, I have the Amigos here, Amigo Sam and Amigo Ayo, bringing you the final predictions for our game 38 season. It's been a wonderful season. We've seen ups and downs. If you look back at all of the videos we've had this year, you've seen frustration, you've seen therapy, you've seen banter to the highest level. Of course, all directed to me for obvious reasons. But you've also seen very analytical opinions and tactical awareness from our household amigos that hopefully our content brings you not just entertainment but a learning opportunity for you to love and embrace the game even more. So once again, thank you so much for staying with us this long, and you hope you stay with us and you invite more of your friends to watch our content and let everyone else know in the world. We all amigos, we're all friends here, and we appreciate you all and what you all do. Let's jump right into it. All the games this week 38 are all on Sunday. There are some teams that has to still play some games during the week to kind of catch up because of different reasons throughout the season. They have to make up those games. And after Man City lost to Crystal Palace in the FA Cup final, which I'm still buzzing about, my boy Eze finishing off that wonderful chance that he had. Man City has to still play another game to catch up to their week 38 fixture. I mean, girls, one of the reasons why this week is very interesting is because there are three teams on the table that are fighting for that third, fourth, and fifth spot of the Champions League spots, and it's up for grabs at this point. We already know, unfortunately, the teams that are relegated, but the focus right now from a Premier League perspective is the top five. Who is going to make that top four at least? But let's jump right into it. Liverpool play Crystal Palace on Sunday. All the games are played at the same time, so it again makes Premier League very interesting, especially if there's a relegation battle. Liverpool playing Crystal Palace. Sam, I predict a Crystal Palace win. I don't know why I do, but I just feel like Crystal Palace will win this game, especially from the heroics this past weekend over Man City in the FA Cup final, winning 1-0. What would be your predictions between Liverpool and Crystal Palace, and why?
I don't disagree with you in terms of the perception that they could easily win it, especially what it did to Man City, and also the momentum is coming, winning their first major trophy in years or ever. Of course, a lot of players are informed in that team. On the other side, Liverpool is there's nothing to play for at this point. I'm begging them to play for pride. Um, but there's really nothing to play for. They're probably partying again. But I hope they win because it's going to be at Anfield. And I really hope they put Alexander Arnold in that game and he gets some proper farewell. And I just, I might be living in some fairy tale land now, but I just really hope we finish the season strong, send a strong message to the supporters and to the football community that hey, we're coming back stronger next season. Predicts a 2-0. Cody Gakpo scores in this game. And Mo
Both
Salah.
goals? Mo Salah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Cody Gakpo and Mo Salah. Let him
Do you
top
think
it
we
up. Yeah.
right? Do you think we'll see any young stars from the Liverpool standpoint?
It would be nice to see Chiesa. I think he might need one more game so for him to be eligible for the medal. Um, so it would be nice to see Chiesa for sure, and also see what we got in terms of a deal for him because I haven't really seen him that much. But I would love to see Conor Bradley as well. I want to see Trent, but let Conor Bradley also show that hey, I can be a building block. We have Frimpong coming up. I can also be if the deal closes, I can be a strong competitor for that right back. if that make any sense. So even Allison can take a back seat on that day. Let Kalea comes in. It's a game that hey, there's really nothing to lose, but there's a lot that we can learn if that make any sense. Like put all these guys in.
Absolutely.
Let's see what we're all about. You mentioned Elliott in the previous recording. Can we trust Elliott? Can he play against a team like Newcastle that has some strong defenders? Like Mitchell is really strong. Gay is strong. Can he find his way around it? So it'll be an interesting game.
I remember we're talking about this offline. Ayo, you mentioned a word that I would love you to talk to amigos about, and it was about carrying the torch. Do you feel like? Let me ask you this: from a Crystal Palace standpoint, if Liverpool were going to buy certain players from Crystal Palace, who could you see from a Crystal Palace standpoint to carry the torch for Liverpool if they buy them in? And what, of course, what would be your prediction?
Munoz is special. Um, he's special. The is it right back? He might be one of the most versatile and just engines and just his output, his decision making in the final third is elite. That'll be a player that if they bought, I think would change things. I like Eze. I'm not 100% convinced about him, but I like him. Mateta is special. I think Mateta at any team he goes, I think because of his age, I don't think people talk about him the way they should. But he's a special player. I think he will actually, if you sign a player like that, he would elevate them. And yeah, no other player jumps to my mind. I think those two for me, Mateta and Munoz, and then maybe there's a space if they figure it out for Eze there too. But I don't think Liverpool needs a player like Eze. But Mateta, yes, and Munoz, yes, yeah.
Interesting, interesting. Amigos, like and subscribe. Let us know your predictions between Liverpool and Crystal Palace in their final game of the season. We will move on to United versus Aston Villa. We are playing at home at Old Trafford. I was hoping to have some type of parade at the end of the season, last season, but of course, that's definitely not the case. I hope we are in a better mood come that Sunday after our Europa League final against Tottenham to be in the Champions League on a Wednesday. But Aston Villa is going to be another tough game that I unfortunately see us not doing well in terms of not necessarily performing bad, but from a result standpoint, we still come up short. I can see us winning the game 1-0, or I can see us losing the game 2-1. And that's just been the story of our season. We have so many chances, we don't score them. One mistake, one great play keeps us in the back, and we just cannot get back. Those would be my predictions, but I always believe in the team. I always believe in United. I cannot wait to see how our to see how Wednesday plays out and then how that impacts the entire transfer window because that Wednesday game, whatever happens in that game, will truly determine the next 4, 5, 6, 7 months from a United standpoint in terms of all they have to do. Ayo, I'll start with you first. Do you feel like Aston Villa is ready for a top four finish and back to Champions League?
No. Um, I think the teams are just better than them this season. Teams that have been more consistent than them this season, and teams that have been more balanced than them this season. You're not far off. Unai Emery is a great coach. They are punching over their weight in terms of because I used to live behind the Aston Villa Stadium. Let me tell you guys, it's a small stadium. It's not that big. It's like it's a simple like I mean Birmingham's a nice city, but like Aston Villa's is they're punching above their weight and they've been punching over their weight over above their weight for so long. I think actually not getting to the Champions League would be the best thing that could happen to them, so they can like take a step back and retool and repurpose, figure out who needs to go and who needs to stay. But yeah, I think they're more deserving teams. I think Newcastle deserve to be there. Over the last stretch, I think Man City deserve to be there. You know, and then we haven't even spoken about Chelsea or even Nottingham Forest as well. Yeah. Mm.
What will be your prediction for that game between United and
Aston Villa win
Aston Villa?
2-0. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think Unai is competent. He's just so competent. I think whatever they need to do to to give them the best chances of making Europe, I think Aston Villa will do it. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. The only thing that's like I'm sad about is Rashford is injured. I know he probably would have been eligible, but it would have been like
Right.
it would have been fun to see it.
It would have been interesting. I'm hearing rumors that he's coming back for preseason, and they're gonna figure out what they're gonna do to him. I don't. I'm just curious to see how that plays out before August of this year. Sam, before we move on from a United Aston Villa standpoint,
And
thoughts, just
I wish
thoughts about
I
United.
I really wish Marcus Rashford was fit for this game, man. I really, really wish he was fit.
He
Cause
would have
yes,
played. He wasn't going to play, even though
oh
he's
really?
fit.
That's part of the loan agreement.
Yeah, that's part of the loan agreement. He wasn't going to
I
play.
think if it's a loan with an obligation to buy, then yes. But I think if it's just
Yes.
a straight up loan, but
Crap.
I think they can. It's optional though. But most clubs do that.
No, I heard
Unless
Barcelona is looking bringing him on loan as well. Apparently, he's
Mm,
going to be the best loanee everywhere now.
we'll
But
see.
I hope Man United wins against Tottenham. Of course, Rashford gets a medal. Um, but I don't see United winning this game, man. I don't see it because all eyes would have been on winning that trophy, which rightfully so it should be. But I want to go back to Ohio's thoughts on Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa, if the chance opens up, they should find themselves back in Champions League again. Because here's the thing: there's a thing with going to a place back to back. You keep learning and you learn pretty fast. My thoughts. And also, to be fair, they've had some. They played Champions League this season against some relatively unpopular but good team. PSG knocked them out. It's not easy. It's not a PSG reincarnated after not starting the season well in Champions League. Uh, they played Monaco. Monaco too. It used to be used to be a big team in League One, but they're not bad as well. Um, so Aston Villa, they need to go back in there, do it again, fight their way to go one more level than where they got knocked out. I think at that point they will start establishing themselves as a Champions League team. And every lesson that they need to learn in terms of changing personnel, they could have learned some of them this season, and they could go into the preseason and build and fix those things out. Unfortunately, it's sad that their star goalkeeper is probably not going to be returning, Martinez.
Yes, I
Hopefully,
was going to ask you about that. Amelia Martinez is going to be leaving.
yeah. So that's another reason why I think Man United doesn't have a chance because the odds are against Man United right now. They should be focusing on the cup. At least have a trophy against some other team that don't have trophy in 5 years.
Oh, shots fired! Shots fired!
Okay, but no, all joke aside, no, I think I wish them all the best. But against Aston Villa, I can see them losing that game for sure. So that's probably going to be a 3-1 for me.
They won lost to United.
Yeah, no, yeah, 3-1. United lose.
Oof,
The Aston Villa wins the game. Yeah.
oof. We don't sound like we're amigos tonight, guys. Okay, all right. We move on. We move on. I saw this fixture, Ayo, and I actually bust out laughing because I saw Aston Villa versus Arsenal, and I'm like, Arsenal's gonna score five. I just, I yes, I can see them scoring five. Your thoughts on that game? I mean, what are we looking at for that game? Are we looking at playing youngsters and just seeing how they cope against the Southampton team that they are going to go back to the championship and hopefully try to come back again, or is Arteta going to keep his strong players to finish strong in the Premier League in terms of points? Thoughts? Because I can see Arsenal beating this team 5-5 to 5-0.
I mean, I don't see 5-0. South Africa not bad, but I don't think they're like perennially like 5-0 bad, like consistently. Like they're a team that can collapse at any given moment and chip a lot of goals. But yeah. In terms of the team he's gonna field, he's probably gonna field the strongest team possible. He has never been the type to give freebies. If you're a player and you're on the pitch, you must have done something in training to earn it. And so I would hope he'd give a run to Waneri to build his confidence back. Because I think like him not featuring as much in the last few games has to do with confidence. And yeah, it's just to enjoy. I'm just glad that there's nothing writing on it. So I did like this drama of those like 16s that could like either be in a Champions League or not. Like I'm just glad we're not part of it, and that's all that we asked for. Is like no matter what happened, like we might have regressed in terms of points accrued, in terms of goals scored, in terms of goals conceded, but at least we didn't regress in terms of like position, and so that gives a kind of aura that gives a sense that like best of the rest is not a great sounding thing, but it is a thing. And so now go finish strong, go again. So I predict like a 2-0 game. I predict a game that's going to be played at a casual stroll because I mean I watched the Newcastle game and all those Arsenal players were playing in the red. So I don't see like anything like explosive or in that vein. Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to think when the season took the turn in favor of Liverpool. I'm trying to think of the game. Amigos, like, share, and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts. What was the fixture that really turned the tide, or a couple of fixtures that really turned the tide in Liverpool's favor? And this question isn't just necessarily Liverpool specific fixture, but maybe a fixture with, and I'm thinking Man City and I'm thinking Arsenal. What were the games between those two that turned the tide in Liverpool's favor to winning this Premier League? Ayo, we'll start with you. Any thoughts at all? Again, this is a throwaway blanket question, whatever it comes to mind. But the
Um,
guardrails is around Man City and Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, I never think there was like a game that turned it, but I think there were moments. I think as soon as Saka got injured, um, that was a moment that was because there's no other firepower in terms of being creative up front. Odegaard's injury was here or there. I think the moment that really killed the team was ending the January transfer window without a striker. I felt a sense that heads dropped and like you could see some form of demoralization, and the Champions League kind of covered it. But I think in the last 11 games, I think we only won 3 games, or I think four now in the last 12 games. And so as soon as that transfer window shut and there were no reinforcements for anywhere to already deplete a squad, I think Havertz was already injured by that point. Yeah, so it was just clear that it wasn't going to be our season. For Man City, I'll just say as soon as Rodri got injured.
Mm-hmm. Sam, what about you? I mean, when did you think the moment happened for Liverpool to gain the advantage to eventually win the Premier League? Was it a game that they played, or was it a game that of a different fixture that really turned the tide? I mean, we've heard from Ayer talking about De Bruyne being injured and Rodri being injured. We've talked about Saka as well too. Do you think there's anything else that may have attributed to Liverpool's success this
Yeah,
season?
I think I'll compare Liverpool against Arsenal because from the beginning of the season you can kind of see where Man City was heading. But Arsenal was a strong contender. But like I said, it was a moment for Arsenal. And I was just looking at the schedule around February, March. That's when you started seeing it. Arsenal was racking up some draws, and Liverpool was getting some wins over teams like Newcastle. We went to Etihad to get 2-0 win. That gave us confidence.
Yeah, that A+ report card month,
Exactly.
I remember that.
And that period, Liverpool didn't. We were informed, and also we, informed and healthy. Like no players was showing any sign of any sort of injury. Of course, Mo Salah's rates, work rates, and all of those things dropped due to the fasting, we presume. But all the guys stepped up in that period, right? So, and unfortunately, Arsenal was in scoring. I think it was a 2-0 against what team was that? Some big team, not big, maybe. And also the schedule
Everton in that period, yeah.
was that.
I think we drew against Everton in that period, yeah.
Yeah, there's 1-1 Everton. Liverpool turned around to beat the same Everton. So that period there were like three games that I think Arsenal had one win in between, but the two games to the rear were draws. So at that point, personally, I started to see that okay, I think they're dropping off, and of course, injuries stacked up for Arsenal, and it's hard for it's hard for them to catch up. Of course, Marino is excellent in the position, the switches, and all of those things that he was doing, but it's not his natural sport. So I think this season too, we also have to look at it. The table wasn't designed to favor anybody, but we also had it favorable for us as a Liverpool fan because we came in early. We face some opponents early, some strong opponent early when everybody is still fresh, when we are still fresh. Now, Man City is informed now. They're getting their form back relatively. If we try to play them in the last 2 or 3 games, when we were dropping the energy, they could probably beat us, or we will get a draw in that game. You understand? So, it kind of it's the timing, and of course, you don't look at that when you start a season. That all it just worked out well, and to win a Premier League title, it's not just the midfield, it's not just the formation. It also goes back to luck. Um, for Jamie Vardy, who is retiring or maybe going to another team, for him to have won it with Leicester, if you guys remember that season, it was a lot of hard work. I'm not going to dismiss Jamie Vardy's bunch of running behind defenders, but it's a lot of luck. Because I remember that table, we kept saying they're going to drop points. They're going to drop points. And they just kept going. And just kept going. And luck got them through. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah, to me, it was a combination of luck and other teams just not doing well around them. Also, that was when Man City didn't do well, United didn't do well, Arsenal didn't do well. So it was luck, but it was also other teams not doing what they're meant to do. Also, Sam, we'll come back to you. Southampton, Arsenal predictions.
Oh, man. I think it's probably going to be a 2-0 or 3. And
Okay.
like I said earlier, Ateta is not the kind that will just bring in players like Raheem Sterling or let him even play the full game, which um, I think he should probably start getting used to that. Because for a team like Arsenal, you should have a very, very good uh, under 18 or whatnot that you can pull from. Like we know Arsenal to be a great team, one of the greatest team football team. So at this point we should be seeing more young players. To be fair, they have more young players than anyone else this season. I might be wrong. Waneri,
Trust
Timber, uh
Gibbs. I think
should I,
Tottenham, I think, too, as well. I think Tottenham and Chelsea have a
okay.
younger squad than we do, yeah.
Yeah, but they need to give more players more time so that injury happens. You can always pull from the younger team, younger squad. But he knows best, and that's why they still keep him as their coach. My prediction, I think he's gonna come out strong. I see Harvard playing in that game, given that he's just getting back into form. So it might just be ferocious in that game, maybe 3 or 4-0. We'll see. Yeah,
Interesting.
Has
Interesting.
Havertz ever scored a hat trick
Amigos.
in his career?
he's never scored a trick. This
Okay,
might be
go
his
ahead.
game.
Mm-mm.
It might be
I would not be
the return of
surprised. I would not
Harvard.
be surprised if he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it in this game. Amigos, like, share, and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts about all three predictions for the final fixtures of the Premier League. As always, thank you all so much for your time. Thank you for sharing our videos, watching our shorts, providing your comments at the bottom. We really appreciate you and all of the newer subscribers that we've
Yes.
received. Thank you so much. We hope to continue to bring you more content into next season. Please let us know if there's any other types of content you would like to see. Let us know. We'll love to look into those and bring that for you. But as always, thank you all so much for your time. Stay positive. We'll see you in the next content.
Thanks,
Have a
everybody.
good week.